Hello and welcome to the real world. My name's Cameron. Today we're going to take a look at my Superman collection for his 85th anniversary. Thank you so much for coming back to the real world. If you're new, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified of all of our videos. We're all about movies here. And today we're talking about Superman movies. Superman is my favorite fictional character of all time, my favorite superhero, my favorite comic book character. I've collected his comics for a couple decades now, and of course I've collected his movies as well, as I'm a huge movie fanatic. So wanted to go through the collection. It's a big collection, so we're gonna get started off quick. Gonna start with the beginning of the collection, the oldest Superman show I have. That is Superman, Adventures of Superman, I should say, with George Reeves. This aired back in the 1950s. I've only got the first season. I'd like to get the full collection. I'm kind of holding out for a Blu-ray collection. Been waiting for that for a while, but this has all 26 episodes in the first season, as well as the feature-length film Superman and the Mole Men, which is a lot of fun if you haven't watched it. It's kind of a classic sci-fi 50s B-movie with Superman in it, and I really like George Reeves in the role. It's a lot of fun. It's a really fun show. So that's kicking us off. Then we're going to jump into another DVD, which is DC Superheroes, the Filmation Adventures. These DVDs cover the 1960s era, so the next decade of Superman storytelling in these kind of animated shorts. A lot of fun. We've got some individual ones with some individual superheroes, and then we've got the Justice League of America teaming up, which is where we see Superman with these other DC heroes. So that's a really cool collection that I really enjoy. Then, of course, Super Friends. We can't mention Superman without talking about the Super Friends from the 1970s. Challenge of the Super Friends. This is the first season. And then we also have Super Friends Volume 2 there as well. So these are lots of fun. These are, heavily memed and gift. So the internet knows these well. It's kind of just fun, silly superhero adventures for children, which is who these characters were originally intended for. Ruby Spears Superman, this is kind of an underknown, underrated, underseen Superman show. It's an animated series that only lasted one season, but it's a lot of fun. Every episode is kind of like a Clark Kent story and then a Superman story, and it gets really sci-fi and really weird. So this is a lot of fun too. It's a 2-disc set. And so yeah, I highly recommend checking those out if you haven't. If you're a Superman fan, you'll get a kick out of it. Keeping with the DVDs, but jumping ahead to the 2000s, there was a series called Legion of Superheroes, which is really cool. This now is a Blu-ray release, which I need to get because I only actually have the first season. I have the first, they released them in 3 volumes. So this is a young Superman, a Superboy, really. And he gets to time travel to the future and join the Legion of Superheroes on their many adventures. So this is a really enjoyable show that, again, doesn't get talked about a lot, but I like it. Finishing off the DVD collection here with Justice League Action. This is a really fun short series. Every episode's only 11 minutes. So the kind of concept was we'll cut out the first act of all the setup and we'll just get straight to the action. And that's what this does. It does it really well. Great introduction to these DC characters. Really like Superman in this show, the way he's depicted. Kevin Conroy, one of his final Batman performances as well. So that's well worth watching if you haven't seen it. Now we're jumping into the film. So 1978, of course, is where it all started, right? The comic book genre of film was kicked off with Superman, the movie. And this box set is the motion picture anthology covering every film released from 1978 to 2006. So this is a really cool set and how it kind of, this top part comes off. We got the S shield that kind of hangs down there. If you can see that, that's pretty neat. And then just, kind of looks like the Fortress of Solitude. And we slip this out and we have what looks like Superman's cape with the yellow S. The back there has all the details on all the movies. You open this up and you're getting all these movies, all 4 Christopher Reeve films, as well as Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. And we're also getting the extended cut of Superman the movie and the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, which I highly recommend if you have not seen it. There's all the bonus features and all the details. So just a awesome set that I can't let go of, because as cool as that 4K set looks, it just isn't the same. I can't get rid of this. It's also got the Fleischer cartoons, which I am a huge fan of. That is one of my favorite Superman things ever. Comic book, TV, movie, whatever. It's just a perfect encapsulation of the character. Really like the acting performances. The animation is beautiful. That is getting a 4K release, which I cannot wait to upgrade to. But yeah, having them all here is a huge bonus. This one also includes Superman and the Mole Men, which we talked about earlier, as well as a couple other, I think, Looney Tunes shorts that have to do with Superman in some way. So just an awesome box set. One of my favorite box sets ever, just because of the packaging, the great video and audio quality on all the Blu-rays, and the bevy of bonus features we're getting, which I just really enjoy. A lot of behind-the-scenes documentaries and things like that. So that's that. Now we're jumping into maybe my favorite all-time Superman iteration, which is Superman the Animated Series. This is what I grew up watching. This really introduced me to the character, and it's so good. Beautiful animation, wonderful voice acting. Bruce Timm and his whole team do a great job bringing this to life. After they, of course, did Batman the Animated Series, you know, it's a let's see here, looks like a 6-disc set. So we're getting every episode of the animated series, as well as several commentaries, bonus featurettes, you know, behind the scenes looks. We get this nice little booklet which tells us every episode and what discs they're on, that sort of thing. Very nicely put together set. Really enjoy it. Great transfers on the Blu-rays. You know, watching this in high def for the first time was like watching a whole new show. So really recommend that. That, of course, was continued in Justice League, which I have, of course, on Blu-ray, the first and second seasons of that. One of my favorite shows of all time. Justice League is great. And then Justice League Unlimited, which was the sequel series to that. And so those are all wonderful, great Superman stories are told there. For the Man Who Has Everything in Justice League is one of the all-time great Superman stories brought to life in animation. Now we're going to stay with TV, but we're going to another DVD box set, which is Smallville. Smallville is one of my favorite shows. It is my favorite show of all time. It is a brilliant series, wonderfully brought to life by the entire cast: Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, Kristen Krewick, you know, just so many great performances. Al Gough and Miles Miller are the showrunners here, and they did an excellent job. The writing staff, the directors, all of it is just great. This is an awesome box set. It's heavy. I'm out of breath just holding this. It's pretty crazy what they included here. 2 huge booklets, which I'll pull them out here so you can see. These are just magnificent. I mean, they've got scenes from every season. The discs are housed up here in these little slips. You can kind of just slide them in and out. Very nicely done. Definitely not getting rid of this either, even though it's already on Blu-ray, and I really want to get the Blu-ray box set. But this, I mean, you just can't beat this. It is absolutely stunning what they were able to do here with these booklets. That's for the first 5 seasons. This is, of course, the show ran for 10 years, so 10 seasons. I don't know, over 200 episodes, I know. I want to say like 216 episodes or something like that. But yeah, just wonderful set by Warner Brothers here. Just so many great images. All the discs are packed with episodes and bonus features. And this one also includes this, of course, an episode guide to tell you what's on what disc. And then it has this nice little packet here, which includes a newspaper, Daily Planet newspaper, which is so cool that they included that. So just a great set for any fan of Smallville. It's kind of like the Holy Grail in a way. So yeah, one of my favorite box sets ever. And Yeah, I'll never get rid of it. It's great. Now we're jumping into some animated movies. So a lot of people miss out on these DC animated movies from Warner Brothers. Starting in 2007 with Superman Doomsday. This, of course, is based on the Death of Superman comic book where he battles the creature Doomsday. Very nicely done. Very simple, very elegant. I really like this movie. I don't think it's the best animated movie they've ever made, but I really enjoy it. Adam Baldwin does a good job as Superman there. Then jumping into Justice League, The New Frontier, based on one of my favorite comics of all time by Darwin Cook. Excellent job with this adaptation. Really enjoy this film as well. This whole 50s aesthetic is really, really fun. Then we have Superman Batman Public Enemies and Superman Batman Apocalypse. These are both films that feature Superman and Batman, his greatest rivalry and his greatest team up. Really, really solid films based on comic books. Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. Really like this one, calling it kind of an alternate reality multiverse story, which is popular right now. The sequel is Justice League Doom, which has a different voice cast from Justice League Crisis on Two Earths. We're getting Tim Daly back from the animated series I just showed you. Kevin Conroy's in there, Susan Eisenberg. Really good cast. Then George Newbern, who voiced Superman on the Justice League series, voices him in this one. It's Superman Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, which is better than both Shazam movies and Black Adam. Then we have All-Star Superman. This is one of my favorite comics of all time, brilliantly brought to life by the team at DC Animation. They just really knock it out of the park every time. Superman versus the Elite, that one is really good, a really interesting kind of morality tale featuring Superman. Then we have Superman Unbound. This is the Brainiac storyline from the comic books, which is really good as well. And then some Elseworlds films. Superman Red Sun. This is what if Superman landed in Russia instead of America during the 1950s, height of the Soviet Union. Jason Isaacs plays him here. And then we have Justice League Gods and Monsters. This is another Elseworlds tale. Benjamin Bratt plays Superman, who in this version is the son of General Zod. So very different. Then the rest of these animated films are really good as well. Justice League The Flashpoint Paradox. This is what kind of starts this new timeline of the shared continuity, which is kicked off with Justice League War. So Justice League War is where Alan Tudyk plays Superman. He would be replaced by Jerry O'Connell in Justice League Throne of Atlantis, which I'm a huge Aquaman fan, so this one is high in my rankings. Justice League versus Teen Titans. That one is really good as well. Great storyline. He does briefly appear in Justice League Dark, but that's mostly a Batman story. And then, of course, one of my favorites of all time is The Death of Superman. I prefer this one to Doomsday, which I showed you earlier. This one is just excellent. It is one of my favorite Superman films ever made. It's magnificent. Just a great, great story. And then the follow-up, of course, Reign of the Supermen. If you've read the comics, you know about these four characters. That takes place right after the death of Superman. And then Batman Hush, he has a pretty big role in Batman Hush. So that's why I included it here. He also shows up in Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 animated film, based on the comic of the same name, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. This is the end of this continuity of films, and Superman again plays a major role there. Then it restarts, the timeline restarts with Superman Man of Tomorrow, which I thought was wonderful. It borrowed elements of Max Landis' story American Alien, and includes Lobo and Martian Manhunter and a younger Superman. It's a modern retelling of his origin, which is different. Parasites in there. It's really, really fun and really well done. He has a role in Justice Society World War II, which is another film in this continuity, although it's kind of an alternate reality story that focuses more on the Flash. And then he does show up as well in the recent film Legion of Superheroes, the more recent film in this shared timeline, which is a Supergirl story, but of course Superman plays an integral role as well. So that's it for the animated films. Of course, I have to mention my favorite modern comic book adaptation, which is Man of Steel. I got this on 4K not too long ago, and it looks magnificent. The way the HDR brings out the color and just the clarity and the detail, it's really amazing. It's a movie that was made for the format. And of course, Henry Cavill is wonderful in the role. Then he followed that up with Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, which this is the enhanced version of the Ultimate Edition. And they do a great job with, they remaster the whole film, the color, the look. It's all shot in, a lot of it's shot in IMAX. So you get those IMAX sequences. Very, very nicely done. Has a commentary by Zack Snyder as well, which is excellent. So that's that one. And then, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour epic in which Superman also plays a integral role. 4-disc set, 4-hour film. Really enjoyed that one too. And then, of course, I have to bring up this, which is, you can barely see it there in frame, but it is Man of Steel box set. My brother built me this little Lego stand for it, which is really cool, but had to show that one off. I think there's a separate video with this in it, but it's one of these interesting sets where it kind of opens up this way. You got discs there, opens up that way, another disc, and then, oh wait, there's another disc there too. So it's a 4-disc set, including the Blu-ray DVD, the 3D Blu-ray, and bonus features. So really nice. I just like how this looks on my shelf. The S shield, the, symbol of the House of L. It means hope. So that's it, folks. That is the entire collection of Superman related content I have. I went through those pretty quickly, but maybe I'll do some more in-depth reviews of some of these in the future. Let me know what your favorite Superman movie or show is. Let me see your collection as well. Tell me what you have in your personal collection. We're going to be doing all kinds of more Blu-ray reviews, 4K reviews, movie reactions. All kinds of interesting things are coming up on the channel. So make sure you like the video, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified of all our videos, and we'll see you next time right here on The Real World.